loves. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. So, in today's episode, oh my god, I feel like lately there's a lot of things happening in my life in different spheres of my life. So, I'm like, ugh! Like, I think that I want to do like separate podcast episode, like talking about my school situation, my job or not situation. I was about to say personal life, but I guess that I don't really have any since I'm doing this podcast. Like, come on. Even if nobody is watching, I'm still exposing myself in the internet. The footprint is footprinting. Is that the word? The footprint? No, I feel like it's another word. The internet print? My digital print? Something print. But before starting this episode, I just want to give you a little warning that if you're hearing some noises behind or like snorings, it's because my brother is actually snoring, sleeping, and snoring, of course. And it's exactly 9:30 p.m. What is he doing during his day that makes him so tired? Like, he didn't go to school, he doesn't have a job. Like, brother, he just like played his little games on PlayStation all day. So, oh my god, why am I shading my brother? I love him so much. If you're ever watching this, I'm just trying to be funny, okay? I'm trying to get clout out of hating you. Joke again, I'll never do that. Like, you got me. What the fuck is going on with Kendrick and Drake? What the fuck is going on? And I feel like the beef is too straight boy who loves rap beef that like makes me avoid to learn about this beef. Does that make sense? All I know is that Drake was like telling, I don't know if he like told on like an Instagram story or like through one of his songs something about Kendrick being abusive towards his wife, fiance, I don't know. And then Kendrick clapped back and I was like, oh my god, you said that about me? So your house is currently under investigation because of human trafficking. You were with Kim Kardashian while she was with Kanye. You had like intercourse with underage girls. And apparently Drake was like, I never did anything with Millie Bobby Brown. So then everyone is like, well, he never said Millie Bobby Brown, so why do you, like, out of nowhere, just dropped her name like that? So it's kind of suspicious. And like, I'm like, what the hell? And what I want to know is, Taylor Swift, on which side are you on? Because she did a collaboration with Kendrick Lamar on Bad Blood. Well, he like hopped on the remix on the featuring. His part elevates the song on a whole new, not even level, universe. Remember when you tried to tell me remember when you tried to end me remember you gonna amnesia, don't forget you. And all I know, I'm not like a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. Like, I don't listen to his like albums and stuff, except like Be Humble, Sit Down, amazing, Bob. It literally, like, I remember watching, I think he was performing this song a couple years ago in a award show, and like his dancers were like purposefully lit on fire and they were still like performing, and I was like, that performance literally blew my mind in ways that haven't ever since. Like, what the hell? And I feel like, and I've heard a lot of things of people who are huge fans of rap, like giving a lot of credit and respect to Kendrick Lamar. And on the other hand, you have Drake, where Taylor was like, she shows a lot of love and support towards Drake and vice versa, and she even like shouted him in one of her songs on her Lover album, on the song I Forgot That You Existed. No pun intended. I absolutely hate the song. Usually when I download any type of album, not only a Taylor Swift album, I download all of the songs and I just listen to them. But I Forgot That You Existed personally, it is so bad with Peace and Love that I'm like, I will literally forgot that it exists and I won't download this song. But recently, I saw a TikTok and someone was like, oh my god, I forgot that Taylor was like referencing Drake on that song. And I was like, what? And I went on and listened to it for like the first time in like 7 years. And she's like, I'm much more in my feelings than Drake. Something like that. So you just see like they have like this amicable relationship, but at the same, and not at the same time, but also I heard like from, again, I'm not a really like huge like Drake listener. Like I listen to his like most streamed songs, like One Dance and Passion Fruit and Mia with Bad Bunny. Like only the ones that like are on the Billboard 100. What can I say it like that? On the Billboard 100, Hot 100. But I heard from like people who are fans of rap, a lot are saying, I wouldn't say discrediting Drake, but like a lot are saying like, oh, anyways, Drake isn't like really that good considering that he has a lot of ghostwriters. And for the ones who don't know what is a ghostwriter, it's like basically a songwriter who would write a song or part of a song, like verses and stuff, and instead of like having credit on the song, they will sell the song to another artist. So because they sold the song and they don't, I don't know if that they don't, I don't know if it's, no, wait, what is a ghost what is a ghostwriter? Yeah, so because they sold the song to the other artist and they don't want to have like any type of mention or credited on the song, like they will just sell the song to an artist so that the artist could like reclaim that it's his own song. Like they basically bought the songwriter's right, but it was all consensual because we love consent. So that's a ghost ride. What is happening with my accent tonight? Talking about accent, recently I've watched a TikTok made by Gabby Mura. Sorry if I don't pronounce her name correctly. She is, I wouldn't say mainly, but like she kind of got known for being Josh Richards' girlfriend. No shade. I'm not really like huge fans of like hype house boys and all of that. Like you do you. Like I won't be the one to hate on the internet, but like I don't follow them, and I've never been their democracy. I've never been their target audience, which is totally fine. But recently, all I know about this girl is that she lived in Brazil all her life. She's Brazilian, and she moved out to the US, and she's Josh Richards' girlfriend, and she's like 18 or 19, whatever. And she was talking that she has a hard time living in the US because of how hard it is to not being able to communicate with anyone with her first language, and how hard it is to not let people get to truly know her and also truly know her comedy, her sense of humor, because it's super hard to make it translate through the language barriers. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my fucking god, same. Like I really feel that. And if you're watching, you're probably like I don't know if you're wondering, but you can clearly hear it that English is not my first language. I mostly grew up speaking Arabic and French. Mostly French, but also Arabic. But I'm in Canada, okay? So I guess the country speaks mostly French. Well, at least I grew up in Montreal. So in the province of Quebec, I mostly spoke French through my entire life. And you're probably also wondering, like, well, you're the one who chose to make your podcast in English. By the way, I don't know if I've ever said it before, but some of my friends sometimes are like, oh, did you like, well, mostly it's not really my friends who, well, sometimes, yeah. They're like, oh, did you make your podcast in English? Why do you make it in English and not in French? Is it to get, like, higher reach and to get more views and stuff. And I'm like, baby, if I wanted more views, I would have done it in French, because my comedic timing in French is like, not to like be full of myself, but it's like impeccable. The bitch knows how to make people laugh. And also, English is like it's the number one international language, so trying to compete in that pool is literally like being audacious. Is that a word in English? I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. I try to say, the thing that I kind of hate about me is I'm trying to sometimes speak like an accent from the South, but I can barely speak fucking normal American English, so why am I even trying to have an accent from the South? What the hell? But I was saying, that is not the reason why I made my whole podcast journey in English. I made it in English because I don't want people to find me. And when I say people, I don't mean my friends. I mean, like, if you're someone who, like, watched a couple of my podcast episodes, you would quickly know that when I talk shit, I fully talk shit. Yes, I may switch up the names, but I still full on give details. I fully talk shit, and I don't really care. I don't hold anything. So I knew that if I would do it in French, people would quickly find themselves. And I didn't want that, because I want to have like this FaceTime kind of like conversation. I want to have like this FaceTime content feel. What the fuck am I saying tonight? Oh my god! My brain cells aren't brain celling. But I want to have like this really authentic, raw conversation. Like, sorry, my throat made some weird sounds. What the fuck is up? Remember, like, I don't know if you used to watch Tana Mojo, her like old videos, but like when she first began on YouTube, I don't know. When she first started on YouTube, her story times were elite. Like, the hype, the thrill that would go through my fucking veins every time that I would see like she posted a new story time, I literally dropped everything to just click on the little 20-minute video and watch it, and being just happy and feeling something for once. So I kind of want to like recreate that type of like authentic FaceTime type of content. So that's fully the reason why I've made this journey in English. So that was a really useless and long tangent. You know what happened to me Friday night? My friend Ariane and I, by the way, there is no, what's the word when you like talk about a subject and transition. There's no transition about that, about the previous topic to the new one. But as long as I'm trying, you know. And I tried and I came up with nothing, unfortunately. But I was saying that Friday night, my friend Ariane and I went to the movies to watch the movie The Challengers with Zendaya. And oh my god, warning, they may or may not be spoilers depending on my mood. But this movie, oh my fucking god. First of all, the only reason I went to watch this movie, it's because of Zendaya. I'm gonna be 100% honest. It's because of Zendaya, and it's been a while. When I say a while, it means like a month since the last time I went to the movies, and I was like, I need to feel something. Because if it wasn't for the price of the movie ticket, I would be there every single week, watch every single new movie. But because it's like $14.50, and that's without the snacks, I'm like, if I do that on a weekly timeline, my bank account, that will be too much. And also, I'm kind of like, I feel like kind of bougie when I say that, but in my day-to-day life, I much more rather watching TV shows over movies, because I love the thing that I absolutely love about TV shows, it's that there is character development. I am a whore, WHORE, for character development. I love that shit to my core. I'm a whore to the core about character development. What the hell? Only about character development, okay? And oh my god, I hit my chest too hard. Say that shit with your chest. And so yeah, and I feel like that character development, it is rare to find it in movies, to find it done correctly in movies. Keyword correctly. But in the challengers, oh my fucking god, I was mind blown. And I'm not gonna lie, in the first part of the movie, like the 31st minutes, I was kind of a little bit scared because I was like, oh my god, is this only going to be only about tennis? Don't say that I'm stupid or anything, but like, I thought that it was going to be, before watching the movie, I thought that it was going to be more, because of the preview of like Zendaya with the two boys and kissing and blah blah blah, I thought it was going to be more romance based, and then they all happen to like play tennis. But then in the first 30 minutes I was like, oh no, they're directly like having a tennis match, tennis game, whatever you call it. And I was like, oh lord, what did I sign myself into? Like, what the fuck is that? But then after the first 30 minutes, and once we started to see like the flashbacks of the whole three characters and how like they met and how like they're interconnected and that they will forever be interconnected in a sense, and more specifically during the university flashback, during this whole segment, I was, oh no, I have lipstick all over my fingers, but I was like, oh my god, what is this? And it's also the first time that I ever watched a movie directed by this director. I know that he did Call Me By Your Name and Shadow and Bones, I think the name is, with Taylor Russell and again Timothy. Sorry. I don't know what got me. But I've never watched any of these movies, so that was my first introduction to this director, and I think that he's a big name in the director world. But oh my fucking god, this movie was so fucking good. And the end, I was like on my knees. I was like, what? You're gonna end the movie like that? And the tension also between the three characters, more specifically the tension between anyone that had with Patrick, the guy with brown hair, I don't know, like, his magic, I guess he's a good actor, but he could have, like, the movie could have been, he could have done a whole movie about being in a relationship with a little wall, WALL, and I would have been into that, and I would have believed, what am I saying? And I would have believed the chemistry that Patrick, the actor, Josh O'Connor, I think, that Josh would have with a wall, because he's that damn good of an actor. Oh my god! The stool scene? Oh my god! And the way I want a man who looks at me the way Patrick looks at art, like, the love and compassion and careness, I don't even know if it's a word, that Patrick has toward art is so fucking beautiful, man. I was like, you make me forget that Zendaya exists in this movie. Do you know how fucking hard it is to make someone, me, forget that Zendaya is in the same movie as you? damn. And when Patrick would have like these scenes with Zendaya's character, Tashi. First of all, Tashi is such a cute little baddie name. Like, wow, love it. And when Patrick would have these scenes with Tashi, I would be like, on the floor. On the fucking floor. Like, oh my god. By the way, my only critique about this movie is the scenes where they would have like music, mostly in the flashbacks, when they would have music, it was really hard to understand what the characters were saying because the music was too loud. So I really hope that the next time, that when, not hope, I'm excited that when this movie would be on streaming platform, and I will of course rewatch it again, which is rare for me. I'm not a rewatcher movies or like TV shows or anything. Like, that's not my cup of tea. Sorry. But this movie, oh my god, and it's the type of movie where the more you rewatch it, the better it gets, because you would realize a lot of the details that you missed watching the first time and all of the previous times. So honestly, if one of my friends is watching this podcast right now and you want to go watch the movie, like, please bring me with you. Like, I want to rewatch it. You're telling me that I have almost and a half hours to watch like Patrick Swayze? Sorry, I yelled really loud. Sorry, I apologize. But oh my god, Patrick, wow. And I was saying that the scenes that he had with Tashi are like, oh my god. And when Tashi, there's some, I don't know why, but I feel like there's something so powerful when Tashi said to Patrick that she fucking hates him because I don't remember the reason. Well, there was a lot of reasons, and he's looking her straight in the motherfucking eyes and says, you say that you hate me, but you actually love the fact that I think of myself as a piece of shit. And I know that, I'm aware of that, and I say that about myself, and that's what you love about me. Because you know what you're getting yourself into. So you can have like kind of a sense of control. And I was like, that is so powerful. These are wise words coming out of a straight man's, well, white man's mouth. Impeccable. Because I don't know why. It's like the level of self-confidence and the level of self-awareness that you have towards yourself to know that you're a single piece of shit. I don't know, man. I think it's so powerful in a way. Like, I should have wrote that on my graduation book, quote, whatever. And also I loved the few times where Tashi would like say things about like her being like, oh my god, 2 white boys fighting over me. I think she said like something like that throughout the movie. I was like, yes, girl, yes, WOC, like, love that. And also the little Spider-Man reference at the beginning of the movie, I was like, you're amazing, because she also like was part of the producing part of the movie, so I'm like, she definitely like she definitely pitched that idea. It was chef's kiss. And something that I don't know, it's after I watched the movie, we had a little 45 minutes talk about it with my friend Ariane in the movie's parking lot. It was really late. We started the movie at 9:30 and we finished it at like 11:15. And then we talked until like midnight 30. So it was kind of creepy vibes, but you know, we're 2 girls, we have each other's company, we are each other's bodyguard. All right. But yeah, so when I came back home, I ran straight to TikTok because I was like, I need to consume for the next 2 hours Challengers content. Tell me fucking why. And that's something that that I hate, because it happened to me multiple times, where the man that I'm rooting for in the love triangle is the least favorite one from all of y'all guys from TikTok. Why am I seeing lots and lots and lots of fan clubs towards this fucking man? Art. Huh? Why? He was so... Usually, you fucking know me. If you're an avid watcher, if you've watched the Summer I Turned Pretty 2 podcast episodes, you know that I'm always fucking rooting for the nice, healthy golden retriever guy. But tell me fucking why. People on TikTok are like, oh, Art is the nice golden retriever guy. He is just too nice to the point where Tashi could literally, and she did, disrespect him straight in his motherfucking face. And he would like be all submissive and be like, oh yeah, you're right, oh okay, like walk all over me, like I don't care, I just love you, you're my trophy, blah blah blah. Like that type of attitude, I feel like it's just so it just gives me pity towards this man. Like, get some confidence, know your worth. I was sad for him. I was like, living a life where you always gotta prove to your partner how good you are, as if it was a competition? Competition? What? You got the word. Don't fucking bully me. It's late at night. I'm kind of like, more like, sensitive. No, I'm not. But, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, Art. Men who are acting like that just are making me so fucking angry. And don't get me wrong, I am not delusional. I know that Patrick is toxic as fuck. I know that Patrick has his whole other issues. But at least, you know what Patrick did that Art failed to do? And even after 25 plus years that he was with Tashi, he failed to, no pun intended, challenge Tashi. Because remember in this flashback scene from college, when Patrick and Tashi were having like their fight right before she torn her knee or whatever. By the way, during this fight, I couldn't understand like really what they were saying because the music was way too loud. But at least I was able to hear when Patrick when Patrick said to, not Zendaya, Tashi, that he will, and he is not one of his like little like fan club. He's not part of her fan club, and he will never be a part of her fan club. And that if she wants something like that, then it's not going to be him. And then he storms outside. And it made me realize that Patrick challenges Tashi. He makes her, I wouldn't say go out of her way, but he brings the passion, that's the word. She will never have a boring day with Patrick. Because he is the fire to her cold house. That sounds weird. Sorry. But I am not telling you that Tashi should like end up with Patrick, because it's super weird to say, but I feel like the three of them are really, I think it's the first time where I genuinely saw a really well-made love triangle. Even though I don't even want to call it love triangle, it's just a triangle about all of their different spheres in life. Their personal sphere, their love, romance, relationship sphere, their professional sphere, their friendship sphere. They're really a perfect triangle. And they all bring, it's not like, usually in love triangles, there's always like the one where the main character is like more like inclined to, and it's like obvious from the start, and they kind of like push the other character to just like, oh, make some drama. But in this movie, it was a perfect triangle, and I fucking love it. Also, so many questions. Do you think that if Art would have given the chance to Patrick to like be more than friends? No. Yeah. What if that happened? I think yes. But I think yes from Patrick's perspective, but from Art's perspective, I'm like, I've seen TikTok saying that like, oh, they're both like really into each other's, but at least from the first watch, I felt that it was more Patrick who was more into Art than the opposite. And I got really sad that Art would like fucking like sacrifice his fucking 12 years friendship with Patrick for a girl. Come on, bro, you fucking know better. And technically, you came after you started your relationship with Tashi after Patrick's. So it's like, that's really like bad move. Bad fucking move. And people are still fucking defending him on the internet. I'm like, aren't you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Like, and the fact that even after all these years of not being friends, Patrick would still like have this caring energy towards Art. Oh my god, I need to rewatch this movie. I am not kidding. And the suspense? Oh my god, my heart was racing. I felt like I was the one playing tennis. Oh my god, and the scene when, what's his name, Patrick, like did the little racket? What's the name? The little tennis thing movement that Art is doing, referencing to them when they were younger, and Art was telling him, do the same thing that when I first hit the ball, the same technique, to tell me if like you hooked up with Tashi. And then he did it 12 years later to tell him that Tashi cheated on him with his old best friend. That move, I was like, I kind of saw it coming. I was like, if the director decided to include this move, I'm a forever fan. And when they did, oh my fucking god, my brain cells exploded. I was like so fucking happy. I was like, oh my god, this is cinema. That's what this movie made me feel. Cinema. This is, no pun intended, art. This is how a movie should be made. It's the first time in a fucking long time, and I swear I'm not being dramatic. I think it's not even the first time in a fucking long time. I think it's just the first time ever when I felt that I've watched cinema. And this movie through time, it will only get better. Like, it's the type of movie that even if you watch it like 10 years, it would still be good as fuck. And at the end, when like Art like makes his final like hit on the tennis ball and he falls into Patrick's arm, that hug made me feel, I almost teared up. I'm not being dramatic again, but like it was so beautiful. It was like an angry hug, like I missed you my friend hug. It was giving a lot of different feelings, and I was like, I am here for it. And it's also the first movie, I think, where I genuinely felt every single character's emotion. Even though I'm kind of hating on Art, I felt his emotion. Like, I felt the sadness when he was sad. I felt the anger when he was angry. And I thought that with the final scene, and when, oh my god, and when Tashi, like, screams, I was like, that's such, like, Sandy is such of a fucking great actress. And I'm like, this scream of, like, relief, of, like, yes, we fucking done it, was fucking amazing. And I feel like in the movie was the first time in a fucking long time since before she got her injury where she truly felt like she was watching good tennis. And it makes sense with the whole reference and stuff if you watch the movie. But I feel like it's the first time where you don't see like Tashi being a bad bitch and super controlling. It's the first time in the movie where she's really like, she has no control over her emotions. Well, never mind. When she cheated on Art a couple times, she kind of had no control on her emotions. But you got what I mean. It's the first time where you see her genuinely passionate about tennis again. And that was so fucking satisfying. And at the end, I thought that Art, like, won the game. But then I saw on TikTok that because Art, like, touched the, like, tennis cord fillet, the tennis thing, that means that it's like, you cannot, like, make a point, even if you've, like, made a point, you cannot, it's cancelled because you've touched the little tennis thing. I don't know. I'm not a tennis player, clearly. But I feel like it doesn't really make sense because Zendaya's scream was like a positive relief scream. Because she was, of course, on Art's side. Oh my god, I just looked at the time and it's been 36 minutes. But this movie, like, oh my fucking god. So fucking good. So fucking good. And honestly, at the beginning I was kind of angry because I was like, wait, you're gonna end the movie like that? But then I was like kind of happy because I was like, then I can create my little scenarios in my head. But please, give some love to Patrick on TikTok. Like, I should start a fan edit about Patrick alone. Oh my god, the churro scene? Oh, but I kind of talked about it when I was talking about the stool. But the t-shirt, I told you, I wanted to buy it. I was like, I'm gonna go look. Like, probably, like, people made, like, knockoff of this t-shirt or whatever. Tell me why it's a fucking designer t-shirt? Loewe, I think how it's pronounced. It's like $350 US. I'm like, babe, in Canadian money, I cannot. I cannot. Amazing movie. And I've seen people hating on the fact that in this movie there has been a lot of product placement where you would see a lot of like different brands logo like shown in the movie. But I feel like it's the first time where it didn't matter to me because the movie is about tennis and it's in the tennis world, and in real life it has a lot of product placement, so it didn't feel out of touch. Like, for example, I remember when I watched Mean Girls the musical, there had been like some product placement, I think from Elf, and it felt forced because you would see like Regina like applying her little lipstick or whatever, lip gloss, and you would see a huge zoom in on her lip gloss brand, and I'm like, that's forced. But because it was made, it felt right in the actual like tennis world where you would see a lot of like sponsorships and stuff. Like, it felt natural to me and organic, so honestly couldn't care less. And also what I really loved about the movie was like Tashi's little outfits. I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. It's like I was watching like Zendaya on like different red carpets, but in a whole movie. Her outfits were killing it. Even the most basic ones, I was like, she's so fucking pretty. And not gonna lie, one of the reasons why I need to watch again the movie ASAP, it's because, I don't know if it's embarrassing, but like, there were a lot of scenes where when we would put focus on Zendaya, I would like kind of like zone out and just think about how beautiful and gorgeous and her hair and her skin and everything about her is like just so perfect, and I would completely ignore the whole discussion because I was just too focused on Zendaya's beauty. with peace and love. So I need to watch that movie again and keep my goal, keep my purpose to focus on every word. And the fact that Zendaya produced this movie, I'm like, she's just one of these actresses where I'm like, I'm so fucking proud to love you. Like, I know that you will serve every single time. Whether it's on your red carpets looks, please bring back the music. Replay was so and is so fucking good. Every time that I hear that song, every time that I put that song, because I need to remind people around, because they seem to all forget that you made that banger. When I put this song on replay, I can listen to it all day. Sorry, mess up the lyrics, but you got a point. She's a fucking great actress. She's a fashion icon. Like, she's a good singer. I want a man who loves me as much as I love Zendaya. I need my Tom Holland. This episode will not end up depressed. On that note, I hope you go watch Challengers, and honestly, even if you don't have any friends who are available that day where you want to go watch it, or that just don't want to watch the movie, they're stupid, go alone. I've gone multiple times in the movie theater alone. It may be scary at first, but it's one of the best experiences in my life, because you get much more into the movie, because it's the immersive experience is much more intense, that you completely forget everyone's around and it's just you and the movie and I. It's incredible, honestly. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I will go rewatch it alone. Honestly, probably. But definitely, like, do not go because you're alone. And you're the only one in your friend group who wants to go watch it. Like, definitely go watch it. Please. And in English, por favor. Like, if one of my friends wants to, like, go watch it in French, it is criminal. I get that you don't understand English, but, like, just do it. Please. Like, I feel like it won't hit the same. But on that note, I love you so much. Hope you liked this episode. I was kind of all over the place-ish. But I hope you have a beautiful night of sleep. I love you. Take care. Au revoir.